The Nigerian business community has warned that a planned nationwide strike by organized labor over workers' welfare would not represent the best interest for the country's economy. The leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress is scheduled to convene this week Tuesday to take a decision on the strike. And that's according to NLC President Joe Ajaero. The meeting comes up at the expiration of a 21-day ultimatum given by Labour to the federal government to provide palliatives for Nigerians to cushion the hardship triggered by fuel subsidy removal. I'm now being joined by President of Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero. Comrade President Joe Ajaero, thank you for joining us on the Arise News channel. Well, what should we expect?
Thank you very much.
What should we expect on Tuesday? The deadline, the ultimatum has already expired. The Minister of Labour and Employment has appealed for more time, for calm, for cooperation. But the NLC says the federal government vacated the negotiation table and said, well, if government is still interested, Labour will be willing to listen. What is the state of play at this moment? And what should we expect?
Well, thank you very much, sir. This is a multi-million naira question. But ordinarily, every Nigerian should have expected the result by now. First, the basis for asking for palliative and even wage award shouldn't have been there if the government had were able to do the first things first. But for you to take steps to remove subsidy, every normal human being should have known that there will be effects, and we should have equally discussed the effects. But within some minutes, subsidy was removed. And we say, no, return back to status quo so that we can discuss. They say, no, ask for palliative, ask for wages. And here, the same thing they said we should ask for are the things we have asked for, and they can't provide it. And they have vacated, like you said, the negotiating table. We don't know what to do again. You know, we gave a notice for a protest, we did protest, and they said, oh, okay, we'll get back to you, we'll restructure our own team. After that time, nothing happened. You know, we gave notice for warning strike, warning strike came. You know, nothing happened. We gave another 21 days notice, and it expired on Friday. I don't know how much time the Minister of Labour is asking for. The Minister of Labour asked for meeting last week, Monday, and we honored it in line with his own mediatory rule. You know, I don't know whether he's mediating for only one party. You can't mediate for one party. If the federal government has spent enough more time, or even the same time they were spending on how to undermine, you know, the strike, on how to create division within the unions, on how they want to demonize the leadership of the NLC so that, you know, they will go after them, on how to even arrest some of them. If they have spent the same time, you know, to look for solution, I think the solution would have been found. Now we could have solved the problem. But I think they are doing some other things that are distraction, you know, because the mission we are in is a mission to redeem the poor, you know, and the poor people are equally in their families. So those obstacles, you know, in this cause to liberate Nigerians who are dying, who cannot go to work, those obstacles, you know, we're going to pass them, we're going to cross them.
Well, President of NLC, Joe Ajaero, NECA is kicking. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, is also kicking. They are saying that if this strike goes ahead, the same NLC that is claiming it wants to defend the interests of Nigerians will be punishing the same Nigerians and throwing the economy into even deeper depths. What's your reaction to that?
Well, NECA is our social partner, but unfortunately, the current leadership of NECA talks to us through a third party. NECA has not written us. They have not asked for audience for us to discuss this thing. So NECA can't at this point be playing to the gallery. NECA can't at this time continue to pay workers all the employers in the private sector, organized private sector, can't hide under the issue of you can't do strike at this time to pay people wages that cannot take them to the office. So I think NECA should come to the table. And if you watch all the meetings we are having with government, NECA is not represented there. And it doesn't enter their head to say that their hair are being shaped in the absence. And they are just hiding somewhere to say, don't go on strike. It will affect the economy. The economy is already destroyed. Workers are not going to work. Even all the state governments are now reducing the number of days workers are coming to work. Now, if a state governor says workers should not come to work for 2 days, and then you go on strike for 2 days, what's the difference? You know, is it not the same man hour that is being lost? And I'm not sure that statement came from NECA, because NECA has a way, you know, of meeting with us, employees and employers, for us to look at these issues. Unless what is happening is not affecting NECA. Unless NECA wants to continue to pay the slave wage. Because the implication is that if you get a wage now, NECA is bound to implement it. Probably they are not ready to do that. I don't think that that statement came from NECA. If it came from NECA, NECA knows that as stakeholders in the tripod, government, employers, labor, will have to meet and discuss it. NECA has not even asked for a meeting for us to look at the consequences. So I don't think that, you know, NECA is issuing press statement when we could sit down and address the issue.
How about MAN, Manufacturers Association of Nigeria?
Well, I don't know whether anything is still being manufactured with the situation of things on ground. That is what is clear. You know, with the energy cost going up, you know, I don't know what is being manufactured and what is being sold. You know, this is one race that we must all embark on to address the issue, including the energy cost, to enable them to manufacture very well. Because if you manufacture at a higher cost, you pass the cost to the consumers. And today in Nigeria, the highest consumers are workers. And we are saying we can no longer buy these products. We don't even have the purchasing power. And you say we must purchase it at what cost? So I don't think that even the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria has equally made moves. So how do we solve this problem? They have not even complained of even the energy cost. They have not complained. They don't even know how workers come to work, which is very important. If I was paying 20 naira before to go to work, and I'm paying 100 naira now to go to work, and you as an employer have not increased my transport allowance, and then you say I must come to work, that amounts to slave wage.
Well, where is the Trade Union Congress in all of this? Because you recall that there was a meeting that was called, that the NLC boycotted, but the TUC was there, and it looks like a government strategy is to divide the unions.
Well, governments cannot divide the unions. What unites us together is our struggle, our wage, the poverty in the land. Even those that are not in the unions are committed to this cause. So if it is strategy, that strategy is dead on arrival. But I know that strategies differ. Probably the Trade Union Congress decided to wait for some time, or for more time, or give more time. Whereas the NLC, you know, being the union in charge of even the least paid workers, those that it is hurting, those that are not exactly that 30,000, feel that it is hurting them more. They now want that problem solved now. But on all instances, on all the wages, on all the items tabled, the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria and the NLC are on the same table. You know, we agree to it. It's a matter of mode of arriving at destination, either by vehicle or through an aircraft.
Well, I asked you that question, and this is my final question on this matter. Because you recall that the warning strike of September 5 and 6 had a partial success, recorded a partial success. Are you confident that if you call out the troops this time around, that the strike, the total and indefinite strike that the NLC is talking about will be successful, or it will just be a partial effort that will pan out?
Well, I'm surprised that you say that strike was partial. The NLC strike was successful, more than 80% compliance bearing probably sabotage anywhere. That's the situation everywhere. And when we go into a full strike, the strike was moderated by us, because it was a warning strike. And the aim we wanted to achieve, we achieved it exactly. Nothing more, nothing less. And then to assess it as partial, not true. The strike wasn't even 60% or 70%. It was more than that. So that's where we are today. And if we call for a total strike, let me give you an example. If the workers in the power sector pull out for 2 days, the power situation will still be wobbling. If they do it for 3-4 days and nobody's manning those machines, you can see that they will totally go out into other areas. So the strike was moderated by us, to succeed. To the extent it succeeded, I don't think it is a partial strike. And anybody in this country can give that assessment that it's not a partial strike.
Well,
if we go into a total strike, it will be a total strike.
Well, on that note, I would like to thank you very much, Mr. Joe Ajaero, President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, for joining us on this Day Live, this Sunday talk show.